Good evening, all. With the interest of time, we'll start the session. Yeah, before going to the content, I would like to see today's topic is KOL engagement or the stakeholder engagement with the medical affairs, right? So I would like to ask a couple of you, what do you think or about this stakeholder engagement mean, or what is this KOL engagement? Can someone of you unmute and share your views? Any one of you can volunteer, else I can, if not I can specifically ask to certain people as well.
It's about connecting the doctors, those who
Okay.
are going to write or those who are the customers of us, of the stakeholders.
So whom are you think are the stakeholders for medical affairs? I mean external. I'm not asking about the internal stakeholders. You mentioned one doctors. Anyone else?
Um, the KOL,
This is Vijay.
Maybe
Very good evening. Very good evening, sir.
yeah, you can go one after another. Alina was answering. So once she complete, I will come to you, Vijay. Thank you so much.
so you mean the doctors?
So doctors are like one such stakeholders who medical affairs is going to engage, right? But Alina, do you think your medical affairs is going to engage all the doctors out there?
No, not all the doctors, only the maybe the institutional head or somebody is the uh, director or the higher post who has the higher degree or not higher degree, higher experience and that kind of a doctor. So that would be the first option.
Yeah.
The, yeah.
Thanks, Alina. I will come back to you. I'll go to Vijay. Vijay, do you think anyone else
Yes.
are being engaged apart from these important doctors which Alina mentioned?
Very first, we can categorize the KOL, means doctors in different categories like advocates, regular, analysts. So there are so many categories, 4, 5 categories of doctors. So we can categorize that KOLs in different categories on the
Uh,
basis of use of KOLs. How can we use to our KOLs? And when we use KOLs. And secondly, when we so there are so many
Vijay, I don't
uh,
know, it is for the all. I'm hearing your voice with certain breaks.
maybe it's connectivity.
Sir, I think there's a network issue. Can you repeat the question? What you are asking?
Yeah, so I was asking, Tariq, who are the ones you consider as the stakeholders for the medical affairs? I mean, the external stakeholders. Tariq, I lost you. Can you hear me now? Tariq, you are on mute.
Yeah. Just a second. Just a second. Neha, I'm just going to.
So by the time Tariq settles in, we can ask someone else the same question, whom all do you think are the stakeholders for the medical affairs? Uh,
So, can I?
yeah, Tariq, go ahead.
It's all a healthcare professional where, it'll come doctor, surgeon, even the nurses and pharmacists will gonna include in these things. Apart from that, the regulatory authorities also, where we can able to file for any kind of approval. So those people also consider as a KOL.
Okay. So we heard from three people. So they mentioned we will have the key medical experts. Then we will also have like so, some of the important other healthcare professionals apart from these medical experts, and then we heard about regulatory as well. Okay, so now, like from our previous briefings, if you had listened to the previous sessions, what exactly the medical affairs does, like how do they engage? Like, can you throw some light on those aspects?
See, based on the scientific inputs and based on the research, based on the products, what like for me, if I'm working for some organization, so based on my research things, I'll speak to the most of the KOLs, where I'll go and I'll talk science, how and what my product is working, and how it is superior than any other the same kind of composition is available in the market, or if it is the patent technology. So those things, based on that, we can convince a KOL, and then later on sales team will take care, because sales team will go and they will meet them. Apart from that, we need to conduct a symposium, where we are going to call up people and they're going to speak on the product. That another thing, advisory board meeting, where we need to conduct advisory board meeting, and where we can call up most of the key opinion leaders. Like if my majorly work is in the diabetic segment, so we can call the indoors doctors who all are the KOLs for the advisory board
Yeah.
meeting, and where we'll ask them to give them a suggestion how the products are working and what all the things we can do for to engage, or to boost them something different in a market. So such things, what we are as a medical affair and MSL, what we are doing currently.
Okay. So, if I can ask Tariq, like currently, where do you work? I understood you mentioned about the diabetes
Yeah, see,
segment.
currently I'm working with the SLR, the company, where as a
Okay.
medical fair, but
Sure.
it's a lens company. But previously, my
Yeah.
entire
No, I got it.
segment is
Fine.
into the diabetes. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so like thanks to Tariq, Vijay, and Alina, like we heard something from them today. Like actually, no, I have a case study to give to you. I hope you all have access to the chat window. So once I share, like actually, I will request you to kindly copy and save it, like actually, wherever you require. I will also like send it as a Word document as well. Like I will share it with you. So the idea is like I'll be giving you a case today. You can take at least like next 2 weeks, and like come prepare like with your answers. So next time when we meet, maybe like it may not be an immediate session after this session, but whenever we are meeting next time, like we will discuss more about it as well. So I'm sharing it for in the chat, like give me a second. I don't know, somehow I am not able to access the chat. Let me check like whether I can share. Can someone confirm whether are you able to access the attachment what I have shared in
Yes,
the
sir.
chat?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You could download it.
Yes, sir.
So uh, like I'll just project it here as well. Like just give me a moment. Can you see my screen?
No, sir. Oh, yeah. It's visible.
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to give you as a case, like I suggest, like you all work individually, but suppose someone of you, like if you know each other, if you join as a team and like making a solution as well, that would also be fine. Okay. So here, if I have listed any brand name or like any pharmaceutical company, it is just like a fictional one, like not like giving a hint to any particular like company which is there out there. So the case is like mm, one pharmaceutical company known as Dermagen Pharma India Private Limited. They have a new biologic product which is developed to treat atopic dermatitis, and you are an important part of their medical affairs as a medical affairs manager. Okay. Now the background and challenge I will tell you. So this pharma is preparing a potential launch of epidermics, their molecule what they are trying like actually to launch out there for severe atopic dermatitis, a first-in-class biologic with a unique mechanism of action. So while the clinical trial data is strong, the competitive landscape in immunology is crowded. The traditional commercial playbook of focusing only on high prescribing dermatologists is no longer sufficient. So this is the background and the key challenges. Like there are like several competitors out there, so there's a market saturation. Then there is like a diverse set of influencers. It's not only the physicians which are there, so you might need to focus on payers, like the pharmacists, nurses, and again like sometimes you might have to talk to the patients as well directly. And the evidence gap, I would say, though there's a robust clinical trial data, real world evidence is currently lacking. Again, like uh, internally, there are certain challenges in terms of medical affairs, commercial market access. They're all planning, like actually, for the launch, but like they are doing it in silos. Now, your medical director has recognized there's a requirement to have a holistic approach to stakeholder engagement, and which will clearly demonstrate the value, and entrusted you to prepare a detailed project plan with the mission that is to create a unified cross-functional stakeholder engagement strategy that generates actionable insights, builds authentic advocacy, and demonstrate holistic value of epidemics. So this will be an ongoing project, but you need to have a robust project plan, and you need to think of like at least 1 year, like what are the kind of initiatives you will like propose as part of this project plan. Again, you should also address some of these challenges whenever you are preparing your solutions. That includes how do you systematically identify all critical stakeholders, not just the KOLs. Again, how do you move away from just transactional communications, like how would you make the communication more attractive, and how would you propose value with it with each group whom you are engaging. Then you heard me saying like people work in silos, so how would you ensure there is a good collaboration. Then you should also prepare like actually a plan, like or like how will you measure the challenge, and how will you also define your success. So you heard me right. So this is a case study. You all have like 2 weeks of time. You come up with your solution and share your answers to me by email. Okay, don't rush. Like I have tried to like very elaborative, like to give you as many hints and clues. So hopefully you will also take away some learnings from today's session as well. Okay, so hope you could also receive my email ID here through chat, and you were able to like actually download the case study as well. If anyone faces any challenge in downloading, they can reach out to the climate team here, and actually I will share the same document with them as well. So now let's proceed to today's session. Yeah. So can someone confirm my screen is visible?
Yes, sir. It's
Yeah,
visible.
Yes, sir.
yeah, thank you. So now, if you had listened to me in the previous sessions, I had already informed what is visible of the slides. That is, medical affairs has transformed from a support function to a strategic hub for insights, evidence generation, and stakeholder engagement. Then the traditional engagement now expands not only to the key opinion leaders we mentioned in the previous session, that is also extended to payers, patient advocacy groups, health authorities, as mentioned by Tariq. And again, these days we have something unique also called digital opinion leaders. Let's listen to it later on during the session. Then again, this when we have to actually target to so many people, we also realize the ecosystem is quite complex. So this expansion reflects the increasing complexity of healthcare system as well. Now, if you see the historic approach, which, for example, person like me, who was doing time and again, but I would say it's also time for us also, actually, to uh, accept the change and prepare ourselves for the future. So I will explain it in detail. So we were primarily engaging only the key opinion leaders. The key opinion leaders I had already mentioned, they are the cream of the cream of doctors if you take any of the therapy area, so who traditionally tend to be the decision making people. And we had taken them, or actually deemed them as key opinion leaders based on their clinical trial participation, their leadership role, their publication record, their whatever the citation impact they had with their research works, then their academic standing and committee positions, etc. But then again, these are all having actually this earlier it was fine at certain period, it was actually giving us good dividends. But time has changed, and we see a lot of limitations with these kind of engagements, because now you see uh, there are actually a lot of technological advancements. And then if you go only with certain people, then you are narrowing your scope to a limited segment. Then again, over reliance on face-to-face interactions what we had, etc., were actually some of the challenges. From here I'm saying, uh, the medical affairs is really trying to transform themselves into the challenges what is actually out there. I would again actually bring call out your attendance here, especially to the new set of stakeholders apart from the key opinion leaders, which includes the payers. They are increasingly becoming actually influential, because as our products are no more the generic products which are considered very cheap in cheap in the cost. But now you have the complex molecules, the innovative molecules, obviously they tend to be quite expensive, so you might require the support from payers as well. You will really need to propose the value to these payers, like what these innovative molecules are bringing in, etc. Then you might have to reach out to patient advocacy groups. Of course, they are growing influence day by day. They can have bigger influence, especially actually reach, they can reach out, or they can share their voices with the payers. They can really bring out the their challenges and urge for the need for newer therapies to them, etc., that would again significantly influence the decisions. Then again, patient advocacy groups, as I mentioned in the previous session, will help you uh, to have new ideas, especially when it comes to clinical research design, to have the endpoints which would be more realistic, etc. Now, in continuation to that traditional engagement with the key opinion leaders, you will also be focusing to people who are part of the committees of various guidelines, which can have an impact on shaping the treatment algorithms and standard of care. And I had told in one of the previous slide about digital opinion leaders. This is comparatively a new term. You would have heard about key opinion leader. So here, these are all a set of people who can have their tentacles or reach through social platforms, blogs, digital content, etc. So if you see, unlike the key opinion leaders whom are considered like actually much more senior, like with their vast experience, with their years of practice, their expertise, like actually who have secured that stature as a KOL, while these digital opinion leaders could be of any age group based on their like actually the power as influencers. So I will not go through this. Rather, I will go. So once we have to like actually to target all those groups. So here you could see like actually then the requirement is going from engaging only the key opinion leaders, but you have to engage a bigger group. So now then you will have to determine, okay, based on each group, you will have to see from your existing perspective, like are we engaging all these groups? Are we only like actually looking at the traditional engagements? Are we having any like omni channels, like multiple approaches to engage this group of experts? And what is our current levels of engagement with these stakeholders, etc.? So that will help you to prepare yourself. And for the interest of our case study as well, so I will request you to play, just give a close attention to this. Now, if you also see uh, what are the benefits of broad stakeholder engagement than having only like a engaging only the traditional set of doctors. So here you will be able to grab lot of additional insights, I would say enhanced insights, versus like actually getting what is actually told by the only from the medical expert. And again, like having a such engagement will help you to have improved outcomes in terms of like better design trials, more relevant evidence, like better share of patient voice, etc. And again, hope it will also help to have better cross-functional bridge and strategic partnership with various groups when it comes to advocacy. So you all will agree with me. Uh, COVID, when it comes to digital media, what is like the accelerated shift in digital usage, what we see, of course, the pandemic had a significant impact on how we use and how we reach our experts. Okay. Now, this has also led to the rise of digital opinion leaders. So typically on any healthcare platforms, even on like mass platforms like Twitter, they actually repeatedly voice about the innovative therapies, about the concerns what we see, like they try to compare one product to the other, etc. So and we people like real time go through, and you will all agree with me, especially when we want to reach a bigger pool of patients. All these patients may not be, or like all the community whom we wanted to target may not be going through the much more sophisticated scientific journals to grab their information. They still would rely more on digital platforms. So these digital opinion leaders will have a higher impact in this group of people whom we wanted to target, because they have wider reach across healthcare communities. They can also discuss something like real-time insights on treatment trends. And on these platforms, peer-to-peer education and engagements are possible. And again, as I told, amplification of scientific messages is very much possible over these digital platforms. So this has also led to what we say as connected ecosystems. So modern KOL engagements require the mapping of complex interconnections between traditional academic experts and the emerging digital voices. The most influential stakeholders, uh, whom we can say right now, are the ones who can bridge up both worlds. I mean, of course, their years of expertise, their academic credibility, while leveraging digital platforms for broader reach. So if we are able to identify and target those set of people, we can say our engagements would be much more fruitful. Now, as I told, when we say about all these external experts, we can never forget about our internal team. Typically, a medical affairs would be frequently liaising these days. Uh, Apart from the commercial team, they will also be focusing on the R&D team, their health economics, as well as outcome research team, especially to have more and more realistic real world evidence generation, etc. They will also be liaising with the market access and public affairs departments within, etc., to have better HTA submissions, to have more mm, relatable pair negotiations, etc. So these things we should never forget. So when I discuss all these things, I tried to pitch with you certain external experts whom we wanted to discuss, and I also showcased you some of the internal experts uh, who would be priority going forward. Now here you could see, yeah, uh, when we talk about evaluating the stakeholder engagement outcomes, who has more influence. The feasibility, the stakeholders who can improve recruitment, retention strategies, etc., are very much important. Then again, I would say uh, when we talk about the types of stakeholder influence, you will need to think about collaborative creation of research approaches, changing course based on stakeholder input, enhancing existing research approaches, as well as validating planned approaches. So which we call co-producing, co-creating, or redirecting, refining, confirming. This is the approach, basically from the stakeholders, how we refine our plans and improve our project plans. Now, uh, if you see the medical affairs 2030, this I have adopted from the McKinsey paper. So if you see, unlike the traditional ones, we need to focus to have or ensure success in the future, to have a broader stakeholder inclusion, which includes community physicians, value-based care decision makers, and patients, which will help us to make our engagements more meaningful. And again, AI is very very important. So NLP is nothing but like actually how the natural languages are like actually interpreted by the AI. So having advanced analytics will enable real-time insight extraction and personalized engagement. We will need to have omni-channel orchestration. Unlike just only the traditional engagement methods, we should have more focused digital and traditional. The mix of both, and then patient impact focus, of course, like actually collaborating with the patient advocacy groups, etc. Now coming to practical recommendations for effective KOL and stakeholder engagement, comprehensive mapping is required. Earlier we went by only like actually listening to our internal team and little bit of market research to identify who would be our stakeholders. And these days it is I would say little more easy with AI in place, because AI itself can scan through wide range of data which is available across digital platforms to understand more about like actually the stakeholders, publications, his efforts, his presence in social media, etc. It can scan through and give you good inputs. But still I would say in India we still can't rely completely on the AI to give you a set of uh, stakeholders. I will give you an example which I have endured. Recently, I was approached from my organization to validate a stakeholder list what they had created looking at some of the AI tools. So the AI tool had prominently like actually scanned through all the like actually the publications, etc., and they had shared a list of people whom we can consider as investigators in one of our upcoming study. But then when you look at like so I could not find some of the people whom I consider as really important to be part of the study. Why? Because like actually because it has scanned only through like the online platforms. It had listed out all their citations, all their publications, and gave them the grades accordingly. And it has completely like omitted majority of the government specialist out there. So we know like actually in India still like actually in many of the premium government hospitals as well, like these doctors may not have published that many, or they may not have been part of so many like actually international advisory groups, etc. But nevertheless it won't diminish their stature locally as the leading experts or exponents when it comes to the therapy areas where they are practicing. So in India we still need to have a mix of using these tools as well as using our own logic and like traditional practices as well. Then you should also like actually be ready to have tailored approaches, then to have digital integration. If not all, if your organizations are not already doing it, you will need to focus more towards having CRM tools, etc. And you should have social listening tools. uh, you could also utilize lot many digital engagement and mapping tools available out there. And most importantly, cross-functional engagement and alignment is so important. And you should also implement robust framework to evaluate your engagement quality, stakeholder satisfaction, and the outcomes what you are seeing from these engagements. So, stakeholder engagement lifecycle requires consistent methodology and cross-functional alignment. This is what I was mentioning you earlier. Each stage feeds into continuous improvement process with impact measurements informing, refining to identification and prioritizing strategies. Now, while you do this, some things are really important, I would say. One is like, you should be agile, you should be ready to adapt to the stakeholder needs and healthcare evolution. So don't be like actually very adamant on this. Like actually, you should have a good listening ear, and then like you should strategize your future plans accordingly. That might sometimes actually help you to navigate your product into unseen or like actually newer uh, like indications, etc. Then again, insight generation is very very important. Maybe like before we complete this tenure, like I would also be very happy to take one session on insight collection process. Insights are nothing but like what is unobvious, like what we see generally, or like what we get usually are informations. It's like tip of the iceberg. But what really drives these actions, like many of us often neglects. So we should have robust insight gathering process as well. For the interest of time, we will discuss this insight gathering separately, because that requires much more time, and actually we will need to do it like a kind of workshop or something like that. Then, as I mentioned, collaboration, these things are very important. I will end my presentation here. So so now hope you got a fair idea about like who are all the stakeholders going forward. It's not only the key medical experts. Of course, now like going back to the key medical experts, uh, as aspiring MSLs or like medical advisors, I also have like few set of advice. It's I mentioned like we need to have a proper KOL mapping. So you yourself, like if you are already into practice, or like when you enter into this domain, I would urge you all like you should plan when you get a list of doctors, or when you are asked to prepare a list of doctors whom you are going to cater. You will need to map them not only based on their like professional interest. If at all a opportunity is there, you should scan through the social media profiles. Then you will really get an idea like where their interest lies, what are the things actually they do uh, outside their work. So of course this is not actually breaching into any like actually into their privacy or something, but like you will try to figure out like what it really interests them, etc. So those insights would be quite valuable when we try like as well as to have to build our rapport with those set of people. Then your engagements with them would be more meaningful. I can quickly tell you one example. Like long back at the start of my career, mm, I used to work in uh, ophthalmology therapy area. There I was supposed to meet a medical expert, like who was considered very important to our strategic ambitions. So this particular medical expert, uh, I can say like in my initial observation, he appeared to be like a very reclusive guy, or an introvert kind of a personality. So the first time when you meet him, he usually save your for ask you he only ask your contact number, he saves it. You know why he's doing that? Like the next time when you call him, he will never pick up your phone call. So it was getting very difficult, like though like whatever the results, whatever the data you are sharing with him, he was easily accepting or agreeing it. But you get that pulse, like it's not really making any like actually difference. So it was quite a difficult, like I had no clue, like how to engage with him, like how to have meaningful interactions with him. So 6 months passed by. Um, though I had presented several details with him, everything he nodded yes, yes, yes. There was no real change, I could say, which I can means no measurable change. So once I got an opportunity to travel with him, it was a quite long travel, and during that travel, though I was trying to poke him up with several set of questions, he was very specific, and uh, what I could say is like, so, again, I was not getting that deeper insights. Finally, uh, getting a bit irritated, like asked him, what is it which really interests you? So this doctor answered me. He has his interest, which is like actually, he mentioned a very specific area in ophthalmology, and he mentioned like actually, that topic only is that which interests him. Okay, then I had this realization. Okay, see, like all this time, all the past 6 months, I was bombarding him with lot of information, which is not at all like actually, matching his interest. And of course, those things were a priority for me, but it was not a priority, or like actually, he has least interest into that. So the next day onwards, like actually, I consciously started like actually, sending the recent updates. uh, so I have a question from the chat, I will come to that. So I have consciously started sharing him the updates on the topic of area which he mentioned he has an interest. Then he started slowly replying, and obviously, like, though I know that was not a priority for me, but I realized if I cater to his priority, it will help me like actually, to bring out meaningful uh, changes, like actually, because I'm going to build a rapport, long term rapport with him, so he will be helpful. So again, he took some help from me to have like actually, some more like actually, resources in the area of his interest. But meantime, that helped me to have a deeper relationship with the stakeholder. Though I know, like, I avoided the minute details or any personal information, but these kind of uh, engagements, like actually, sometimes we might have to go out of the line, out of the box, to think of like actually, what it really interests them to have a meaningful impact. So that is about the stakeholder engagement. You can't just read or like learn stakeholder engagement through books. Many of times, like you will need to experience it. But obviously, these tools, whatever is available, will definitely help you. Okay, so this is what I want to like actually, especially tell to people who are already working, because if you really understand uh, your people, like you will be a better like actually, stakeholder manager. If not, then whatever activities you do, that will end up like actually, just like actually, as a tick mark activity, and you can't really make an impact. So that's what you should all realize, and hope like actually, I'm really hoping you all will bring like actually a lot of meaningful solutions to the case what is already been shared. I have not actually, specified any like word limits or anything. It is up to you. You can be short as possible, or like actually you can be descriptive as well. So I will really spend some time like actually, once you share the details, uh, you can like actually, I will spend some time to read through and try to discuss that in some other session with you all. Now I have one question here, like, sir, why should KOLs associate with pharma companies voluntarily, without any consulting fee? So it's always not the case. Like, most of the time when pharma companies engage them, like pharma companies offer a fee for service, or like actually what we call as honorarium, especially when we engage from for them for advisory board, etc. But however, there are two cases. Like most of the government officials still may not be ready to accept any fee because of the restrictions they have from the government side, being a public official. And of course, there are many medical experts who are also willing not to take any fee because they see like actually the prospect of a long term association with you, because which will be like actually which I would say like actually win-win for both parties. It will help you as well as it will help them. uh, like you because even if you are skipping, you see the bigger picture. Even if you are just like missing out on a consulting fee, you are getting like actually a podium presence, you are being part of a bigger advisory board, you are getting chance to interact with like-minded people, which pharma offers platform. So, and you are being part of like actually the bigger clinical research programs, which is paid like actually adequately well, etc. So there are multiple things. So I would say this question always may not be right, but when they are doing it like actually voluntarily, obviously like actually they know like it's a win-win for both parties. And many a times actually even if they don't accept money, they know like actually they get authorship, etc. Yeah, thanks, Shishir. Any other questions? We have another 8 more minutes to go, and I really hope you have any questions from the initial glance you have from the case. So I have a question from Shelly. Like, can you please share the steps we can follow to find like good external stakeholder for our company, and any AI that you know that can be beneficial? So there are multiple tools. I would say, see, I will tell you about an example. So there are not one, like actually, there are many. So, but I can give you some examples. For example, as a person now who is more focused into the early clinical development programs, and actually I like actually providing support and doing the early engagements with the stakeholders or investigators, even sometimes before writing the protocol or just like entering into a segment. We use platforms like Sightline, which will help us to glance through like actually all the previous trial experiences, etc. But again, if you have constraints, because it might some things might be paid, etc. You might get you might have to put little more effort, etc. You will have to like actually go through CTRA or such clinical trial.gov, etc. to glance through the previous research programs. And there are so many free ones available like Expertscape, etc., which will try to like actually map KOLs. So there are many which are available. Then of course AI is beneficial, but you will need to validate them, uh, because like especially in India, because in if you take countries like US and all, whatever the AI is proposing would almost 95% match with your requirements. But here, like it will not give you like a good set of pool from the government or like government doctors, etc. So that's why you need to be more careful. And yeah, still like so you can some of the things are very important, when you need to look through these kind of platforms, you still need to rely on their publications. You can also rely on your internal stakeholders, but don't give too much value or importance to alone to people who are like actually recommended by the sales team. You will need to validate it. Why I say this means actually not all high prescribers are good researchers or like good stakeholders from a medical affairs perspective. So you will need to but at the same time there could be good ones as well, so you will have to use. your brain there. Yes, Alina, you have some query?
No, I was just about to ask the same thing only, because most of
Okay,
the
okay.
data that we get from the sales team or the marketing team, so like they would be providing us a list of the KOLs or the doctors.
So this is another challenge which you need to like actually move like actually move with, because many times you will not be in a position to completely avoid or like actually neglect what is the recommendations coming from the marketing team and sales team, because like actually from any internal operations perspective it may not be possible always. So you will need to be smart like actually to include couple of them, as well as to have your own set of list into it. I still remember long back, I was like actually part of a team who were tasked to like actually to engage a group of experts to prepare a guidelines, like means actually the organization was working in the background to, I mean, to have some level of influence, uh, to engage a group of doctors who were like actually planning to have a guidelines on a disease area. So when we volunteered and like actually offered our support like actually to this set of doctors, and we like actually we of course like actually our internal team had a lot of recommendation who should be the people involved, etc. But then it will sometimes jeopardize the whole idea of having this publication or guidelines itself. So we had a right mix of people who are actual researchers, who are there for the namesake, etc., like, so that we will need to like actually have a right mix of people.
Okay.
So uh, I think I will also share my contact number here, like in case if it is like actually more something more specific, like actually you can WhatsApp me like actually and based on the mutually available time we can connect. Don't always expect like actually to be available any point of time, but of course like actually at a mutually convenient time I will connect with you. If you have some specific challenges, etc., we could discuss. I think if no more queries, like we can disconnect from the call. You have 2 weeks time, and hope like actually all the participants. I can see 31. If I consider like actually couple of people might be internal from climate, at least we will have like actually some 25 people here, and I look forward to receiving your uh, like plan. Thank you. Have a good day ahead. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Good day. Bye, sir.